have known by now that we have some very sad news, and that is that yesterday one of our councillors, Nick Cotle, passed away. So over 20 years, 26 years, Nick has devoted himself wholeheartedly to serving the people of Glastonbury and St Edmunds Wood. His dedication was evident in the many community projects he was involved with, including Glastonbury in Bloom, his work as a trustee of St Edmunds Community Hall, and his valued contributions to property and assets, finance and youth committees. Nick will be remembered not only for his tireless commitment to the town, but also for his warmth, integrity and the genuine care he showed to all those he worked with. His loss will be felt deeply by fellow councillors, colleagues and the many residents whose lives he touched. So our heartfelt condolences go to his family, friends and all who knew him. He will be greatly missed. He was also a Somerset councillor, as you know, and had been on Mendip District Council as well. So, Councillor Henderson, would you like to light the candle? And I would ask everybody to have a minute, quiet reflection on Nick Cotle. Thank you.
I light this in remembrance of Nick, a great servant of this town and a great friend.
Thank you, councillors. I'd like to invite Councillor Liz Lation to say a few words, if you would. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you, councillors. I felt I needed to come here this evening to your meeting in remembrance of our colleague, Councillor Nick Cotle. I like to think of him as he did recently, going to Canada on an extraordinary adventure, and unfortunately we've not had the chance to hear from him how that holiday went. I can assure you that wherever we met for Somerset Council, anywhere in Somerset, Taunton, Yeovil, Bridgewater, Frome, anywhere, his subject was always Glastonbury. It was always his town, and heaven forbid anyone like me might say or do anything that didn't put Glastonbury first, didn't consider what the people of Glastonbury needed, and indeed what this town council would view of the actions that Somerset Council was taking. So I assure you, Your Worship, that in Somerset Council we will continue to work with Nick's memory, and we will continue to do everything we can for the benefit of Glastonbury.
Thank you.
Liz.
So if councillors want to say a few words, I'm more than happy for that to happen. Yeah, please do.
Thanks very much. I think Nick was probably one of the first people I met in Glastonbury back in '71. Turned up here with no TV. Nick worked in TV shop in the High Street, Wig Falls, which was later taken over by Curry's, I think. And I went there with my dad. We got our TV and struck up a conversation with Nick. And maybe not that time, but we later in our years we used to drink in the Rifes together. And then as time went on, we perhaps parted. But then when I became a councillor at Mendip, we kind of got back together and sort of rekindled our friendship. As Liz said, he was always vehemently dedicated to Glastonbury, to Windmill Hill especially, but to the town. And if I had to level any fault against Nick, I would say he probably tried to do too much for this town. He spread himself so thin, trying to help everybody, but he did his damnedest to get everything done that he could. So God rest you, Nick. It's been a privilege.
Thank you. Councillor Cousins.
Thank you. I find it almost unbelievable. I can't quite believe the news. Nick and I knew each other through St Edmund's Hill, and he has always been a champion of the people of the Hill. What I realised about Nick was that he was a tireless worker on what he called his casework, which any folk who came to him with problems and troubles, he would work tirelessly and admirably to try and resolve. And if he couldn't do it, he would attempt to get those people to the people who could help them. He was also someone that we greatly admired here on the council. I'm talking on behalf of the Green Group on the council. There are 4 seats on St Edmund's Hill, and we'd only ever put up 3 people because we did not want to lose Nick. And we knew that Nick would always be able to sail in because for many years he had the biggest vote of anybody on this council, which just goes to show how much he was loved and respected by the community. I had a great pleasure of being on the internal drainage board with Nick as well as the district council, and he wasn't somebody who went out to the pub a lot in his council years. He was quite a private person. I always remember him having a drink with me once and getting quite merry and discussing his beliefs, which I'm not sure he shared with many folk. But Nick was quite a dedicated vegetarian, which I hadn't realised until later, and also a big fan of craft work, if you can believe that. Most interestingly, and I always thought he was Church of England, Nick believed that we were descended from space aliens, and
Yes.
It was always a surprise to me when he started talking about that, especially after a beer. So I have very fond memories of Nick, and I think he's going to be hugely missed, and I can't imagine anybody actually being as dedicated as a councillor as he clearly was, and may he rest in peace.
Thank you. Councillor Osborne.
I'd just like to say on behalf of the Conservative group that Nick was the only Lib Dem on this council, and he was always fair. He was never sectarian. He really did everything you said about him, John, including the aliens, is true. He worked so hard, so tirelessly for the people of this town, and periodically, I suppose our caseworks crossed, and I always felt completely okay with working with him. There was never any, and I suffer quite badly from social anxiety in some circumstances, and I never felt that with him. And he was a really lovely man. We blacked out the banner of Rant and Rave on Facebook this afternoon when we heard the news, because he was somebody who was always posting on it. He was always interesting. He always had a different take on things. And, you know, I never heard a bad word against him. And I never heard a bad word because there was nothing bad to say. He was a truly decent human being, and I shall miss him greatly.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, please, Susan.
I don't know if you can hear me. I think you can probably hear me. I haven't got anything as illustrious to say as I'm sure the rest of you, but I'd like to say nevertheless, keeping it quite simple, Nick's death has come as a shock to us all. He will be remembered with great fondness as a kind and community-spirited man with a sense of humour and a can-do attitude. I will miss him both as a co-councillor and just quite simply as a genuinely good man. What we can all best learn from Nick is to remember to treat one another with kindness and compassion every day.
Thank
He will
you.
be greatly missed.
Thank you. Anyone else? Or we've said enough. Thank you. There is a card going around the table for councillors to sign if you haven't signed. We're not quite sure who it's going to go to yet, but when we learn that person, then we'll forward it. Two things, just in case they want to go. Ellie Carey Say is the operational lead for St Dunstan's House. She started yesterday. So well done. And then Patricia, sitting there by Terry, is our new mace bearer, and she's on 6 months probation, just to make sure that she likes us. Thank you. Okay, so now I'll go into the agenda. Are there any apologies for absence?
I've got apologies from councillors Don Francesco and Much.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, they were the only ones that I had. Declarations of interest that people haven't already submitted. No, okay. And then to approve and sign the minutes of the last meeting as a correct record. So that is from the council meeting of the 8th of July. So, yeah.
Item 74, to do with the Step Ride and Thrive project.
Oh, yeah.
Councillor Henderson proposed to nominate Councillor Henderson. Well, I am quite...
I think that looks like copy and paste to me, Councillor Henderson. Can you sort that out? Or
I did actually go back and check the video for that one because I doubted what I wrote, but actually...
No, it says it was proposed by Councillor Henderson to nominate Councillor Henderson.
I nominated myself.
Yeah.
Yes,
Plus, I just volunteered.
you did.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And I seconded it. Thank you.
Sorry, Katie. I should have known not to question.
Thank you.
I questioned it myself and went back and checked.
Thank you.
Point of order, Your Worship.
Yeah.
I don't think, according to standing orders, that a councillor can nominate themselves in that position. So perhaps the minute could be amended to say volunteered.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Any other comments on page 15? The one about where was it? 71, the 2 full-time staff members, so they're both working already, the outside staff.
Very good.
And any comments on page 16? Page 17.
I have, Michael.
Oh, sorry.
So on page 17, the Youth Services Committee, it's got various things and it's unclear what they are for. So D, it says a grant, proposed grant of 500 to be awarded, but it doesn't say what it's being awarded for.
Okay, I can explain that when it is...
And let me finish. In F, it's talked about keeping the price of trees at 55, but it doesn't say what
Christmas
for.
trees. Okay, was Christmas trees, and the other one was the St Benedict's toddlers group.
So could that please be in the minutes?
Yeah. It is in the budget, I noticed, but it on the balance of payments.
So because with it not being in the minutes, it's like.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'll talk to Katie after. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Page 18. Can we accept these as a true record? I will suffice. Thank you.
With those changes.
Yeah, with the changes. Thank you. To receive an update on actions from the last meeting.
Your Worship, would it be possible, just point of clarity, for us to zoom in on this agenda slightly, as it may help people read it?
Thank you.
Your Worship, an update on the actions from the last meeting. I can confirm that the MP, Sarah Dyke, has been contacted and that the news releases and the Lamas newsletter was distributed.
Thank you. Was the MP the West Mendip Hospital one, or was that something other?
I believe it was the opening for St Dunstan's.
Okay,
Connor will be able to confirm.
Thank you. Okay. Latest crime statistics. Did we have an update from the police? Thank you.
I haven't received an update from the police. No.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Cousins.
Your Worship, would it be possible to compare to the last 12 months and then the last the last 3 years, sorry? And maybe do the same with the crime per month, crime levels overview, please.
Okay, any comments on that? All we have to do is note it.
Okay.
Thank you. To consider and approve the schedule of payments. Councillor Napper.
Thank you, Your Worship. Reading through this, I know exactly what it is, but it appears to me as if Michelle Phillips has been reimbursed for quite an amount of money. On one of them, I think it was 5845 that was brought up, and it looks like to me as if Michelle Phillips is the person who paid for her dues for hiring the hall, which I think is a little bit misleading. 5845, I believe.
It was 5845 and I raised it yesterday.
You did. Yeah.
If you remember, and I emailed in and I received the reply that it was something to do with the town hall.
Yeah.
But it wasn't actually clear enough, and
No.
I thank Terry for bringing it up, because I felt I hadn't received a sufficiently clear response on what it was all about.
Like I say, it looks as if poor Michelle is hired it and not paid. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you.
Katie, would you like to clarify exactly what it was about?
Payment number 5845 is reimbursement to Michelle because she paid for that small claims court fee. So that is us taking a person who hasn't paid a bill to us to the small claims court, and that is the fee that we needed to pay to initiate that.
Is that still in process?
Yes,
And that's why you're not naming anybody or anything, because it's still in process. Thank you, that explains
Thank
it.
you. Councillor Osborne.
What's the Sacred Death Centre and why did we give them?
They came and asked for a grant. So in the finance and general purposes, it was that we had 14 grant applications. That was one of those. Councillor Manning.
There's a few on here where we've had to reimburse staff
Yeah.
for various expenses. Do we not have a sort of a council debit card or something that we could use for these things? Because it seems a bit unfair to our staff to have to pay out of their own pocket.
I think we're getting one, aren't we?
Okay, I can help with that one. So we have applied for what's called a multi-pay card. That's done through the Unity Trust Bank that we've just joined, and payments in the future will be made off of that card, so it will stop all of these payments to staff.
Okay. Yeah, because we have actually just sort of improved all of our banking. Yeah. Okay, what do I need to do with this one? Just receive it? Oh no, yeah.
You look at.
I'll need a proposer and seconder to consider and approve this schedule of payments document, please.
Suppose we accept that
Thank you.
schedule of payment?
Is there a seconder? Councillor Price. All those in favour of accepting this document? Any against? Any abstentions? Okay, 3 abstentions, so approved. Thank you. And the next is budget monitoring report. Right. I did think that this document was much better laid out, by the way, so thank you for that. Very clear.
Your Worship, maybe just see the very top of the document again, please. Thank you.
Can I just check on that note 5, first yearly instalment of St Dunstan's house loan, is that the public works loan? Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay. Yes, I did notice further on in here that all of the rooms in St Dunstan's House, the atrium and everything, they've all got their own budget lines. So when we come to do hiring, it's going to be much, much easier. Yeah. Do we have to do anything with this? Just says to receive. Sorry?
Michael,
Yeah.
I have one query.
Yes.
Which is right at the very bottom. So most of the variances are within what would expect on a few months into the year.
Yeah.
But right at the very bottom, it's got 405% variance.
Oh yes, I saw
Which is
that.
obviously a complete typo, and it would be really good if that could be corrected.
Yeah. You see that one, Michelle? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but we are 400% up on our budget, aren't we?
The 405% variance is crazy. Most of the variances are like, 70.
287,000, and we're actually 574,000, so we're at 761,000 in to the good, that is 400%.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Councillor Manning?
Another typo right at the top of
Sense.
the period that this covers.
1st of April
Yeah.
2025 to the end of March 26, so that's the financial year.
That's the whole year, doesn't it?
It is, sorry, it's my eye.
Yeah, okay. Councillor
Your
Cousins.
worship, that was what I was looking at.
Oh, thank you.
That's what
Yeah, financial year. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your worship,
Yes, please.
just out of interest, is it something to do with St Dunstan's house, why our budget is so over what we anticipated? Or have we just got a lot of car parking?
Which bit are you asking me about? The bit on the front?
105% variant.
Yeah. I imagine a fair chunk of it is to do with the town deal. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know the answer to that question?
Yes,
oh, thank you.
We haven't, through any income, spent any expenditure on that area as yet, but we will within the financial year.
Yeah.
Question. I can see where Paul's coming from, and Michelle, would it be possible under the financial year dates to have maybe just the dates of this particular window?
Oh, of the report.
So it'll be 1st of April to whatever the date, 12th of August or whatever.
Okay.
It is. Just so we know that's, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
It's just that your budget is for the year, the budget.
True, yeah. Or well, maybe just another subheading or something like that.
Yeah.
Just so we know.
Or maybe on your notes, just put this one refers to, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Right, next. An update on asset and service devolution from Somerset Council. Anything?
Okay, I can update that the process is moving along with Somerset Council, and the guys, our outside team, are doing a great job of all the new responsibilities that we've taken over from them.
So that's all the green areas and play parks and all that stuff. Okay, thank you. Yeah, please.
Are we responsible for the courts on the bottom of Tor Leisure that we refurbed a while?
Right. We are responsible, no, Fusion is responsible for the courts.
Okay.
So we just put the basketball hoops up on the multi-user one.
What do I want to know?
Yeah, thank you. Okay, an update on St Dunstan's House Health and Wellbeing Centre. It's a shame Connor's not here, but we're thinking of him. Last week we went and had a look around after one of the design meetings, and you can see it's getting quite close. Now, when we come in these design meetings, they'll say, oh, we're 17 weeks behind. And you say, doesn't look like it to us. So what we've just done, we've drawn a line in the sand and said our formal opening for next door will be the 10th of October. So it's a Friday afternoon, so they have to work to that. Okay. I can say the bit that's causing a delay is at the atrium, which if you've looked at it lately from this window is really amazing. All the solar power windows are connected and they're going down into a device down in the plant room. But we're waiting for the delivery of the end frames and glass partitions there. I believe they will come on the week starting the 18th, which is probably next week. So I think they'll work for 2 weeks hard and they should manage to get all of that done. Okay, so invitations will start to go out for the formal opening. We've built it around Sarah Dyke's schedule. So on that morning, it's a Friday, she's going to go to Bailey's buildings to have a look there, then come here and do this. And then the evening is Glastonbury and Street Chamber of Commerce, AGM or meeting or something like that. So we've sort of gone for that. But invitations will start to go out for that. So put it in your diary, please. 2:30 on the Friday afternoon. Anything else, Katie, on that? Councillor Cousins.
Would it be possible to have paper invitations? If we'd had paper invitations, I might have come to your
Ah, oh, well, thank you. I'm sure we can get the clerk or the assistant clerk or someone to send you one.
Thank you.
Do they still have telegrams?
It makes a grateful addition to the smoke signals I normally receive.
Thank you. Okay, item 10, I'm going to move to the September full council. So finance and general purposes did go through in great detail a new set of financial regulations to bring it up, but we haven't got that finalised yet, so we'll move that to September. Staff team building budget, is that just a line change? Do you want to do something on that, Katie?
Yes, so this is to move some money from a budget line. So we have a contingency for staff sickness, which holds £5,000. And what we are asking you to consider is to move £1,000 from that budget line to create a staff team building budget.
I'm happy to propose that.
Okay. Seconder? Thank you. Sorry. Yes, Councillor Cook.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike. Can I just ask what you mean by a team building fund? What actually is it going to be used for, and how much is it? And
it was £1,000.
Yeah, right. So that's it, is it? That's it. £1,000. But what for? Actually, what for?
We actually haven't decided yet. We've just.
Well, then why ask now?
Because we desperately need to make some considerations to building our staffing team, and especially at the moment where we're split over 2 levels and we have lots of new staff starting.
Yeah. You put an advert out and employ people?
No, we've got the people. Is to build build the team.
I can't see why that's so important to put £1,000 stream available for them to learn something.
Okay, Councillor Henderson.
I think it's quite good policy, Rick, to have your staff meeting or working in an environment outside of work. As Katie said, even getting to know the new members of staff and things like that. So I think it works in other corporations, other businesses do it, and I don't see any reason why the town council shouldn't do it as well.
Thank you, Councillor Cousins.
I was outraged that it wasn't more money.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Cook again.
I would much prefer to see it allocated to something rather than just vaguely put out as, or team building thing. Right, fine, like over in Sweden, for instance, they do a lot of outside work, going around climbing ramps and all kinds of things, take a whole team out doing team building. That's proper team building. Yeah. That's a specific thing.
Yeah, I think that's what...
A specific thing like that to do around here. Like, I don't know, going down to Western Beach for the afternoon.
Yeah. I think they'll plan to do that.
Just literally, because I know what happens here, because we see it on everything, is it gets to the point where John Cousins would be very happy that it was actually £3,000.
Okay, thank you. Right to reply, Councillor Cousins, and then Councillor McDougall.
Thank you, Your Worship. Considering the suggestion that Councillor Cook has just made, I'm sure we would have to increase the budget.
Thank you, Councillor McDougall.
Book a flight to Australia and come and join.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and you can pay for that as well.
The point that it is a budget, and so they can then plan what they're going to do. Not necessarily at all.
Thank you. Right, and move to vote. We have a proposer, we have a seconder, so all those in favour of establishing a team building budget line. Thank you. Any against? And any abstentions? 2 abstentions. Thank you. Item 12, calendar of meetings. I'll move that to the September meeting as well. Simply because it's not done. Any resolutions from delegated committees?
Can you make it larger, please?
Maybe the Tor Collective.
Okay. Oh yes, to the Tor. First sentence needs an R at the end of it. I did go and have a look at it the other day as well in the church. Councillor Cousins?
Considering the issues raised in public participation by the folk who regularly attend the chartered markets, I wonder whether we should make a commitment to meet with them and perhaps think about the impact of the grants to hold a market to the Tour Collective as well, so that everyone's aware of what's happening and we don't have a situation occurring.
I'm fairly sure, I can't remember which meeting it was at, but I'm fairly sure we talked about having that tour market on a probationary period. Yeah.
If you look, it does say a 6-month trial.
Okay. Yeah.
May I speak?
Yeah, please do.
Because I was working with Craig because he was wanting to do the quarterly Sunday markets.
Yeah.
And then he decided not to because it was obviously going to be far too much work and he wasn't going to be able to do it. So then we've got Morgana has come along with this suggestion. So I've just spoken with Craig.
Yes.
And said that he could, because we've got the email contact already from the previous suggestion about extending markets.
Yeah.
That he contacts me and the lady who spoke and Morgana, and we will get together to sort something out together, that we will actually do something together. As you know, I'm very good on action rather than just talking, and I'm very happy to facilitate a discussion around it, seeing as it was me that proposed that we accept the 6-month trial. I felt quite responsible.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to reiterate what Serena and John were saying. I think, Lisa made a really good point.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have just taken over the runnings of the market, and she seems quite pleased with the fact that we have done that. We really need to make sure that good relationship continues, and we don't want to spoil. So I think it's highly important that we get Lisa involved in that.
Yeah. Okay. So finance general purposes, we gave various grants. We did actually, which I thought was very good at that meeting, give grants of 1,500 to the 3 clubs, the boxing, the football and the cricket. And we recognised in that the sort of community service they provide above and beyond the sports. Councillor Price.
I'm just noticing that some of the organisations that have asked for grant funding have not met the criteria, and I was wondering if there was a reason for that, whether it's not clear enough for the organisations, and whether there's something we need to do about advertising, or has it just been missed by the organisations?
Maybe. Some of them didn't even turn up. I think that was part of it.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Because the policies are now very clear and the application forms are very clear. Anything else on that?
It's running about really fast.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to see how much was given to the Pilgrim Centre thing. Pilgrim. That's what I thought.
Many things.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Didn't give them anything, I don't think.
400.
400.
Yeah. So I thought we'd given them nearly £3,000.
No. I think that's what they wanted.
Yeah, the top figures are what they asked for, and then the figure of what we awarded is in smaller, not bold print underneath.
Yeah.
Is the rugby club not there? Sorry.
No, the rugby club didn't ask this time.
All right.
Yeah, the boxing, the cricket and the football. Councillor Cousins.
Thank you. The Sri Gur £3,000 is rather cryptic, councillor proposed. Do we know if it was a certain councillor or councillors? Or
That should be council proposed that no grant be made.
the council? Thank you.
Maybe that should be made clear.
Okay.
Anything else? Is that the end of it? Okay.
Correction, perhaps should it read the committee rather than the council? So it's not the full council.
No, it was finance general purposes, wasn't it? Yeah.
And also there should be a correction It was proposed by Councillor Ronnie Dougal to make the above grant applications, no, to award the above grants.
Yeah.
To award the above grant.
Yeah. Councillor Manning?
Okay, Katie, you got that change?
So the typo about councillor proposed is also in doers on orders as well.
Okay.
Should be the committee. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any updates from advisory committees? And consider
Yes.
any recommendations for those for decision?
Yes, there are, but let's come to them. Yeah, so can you make it bigger, please? Thank you. So the first one, let me speak to this, and then the second one, Lindsay McDougall is speaking to. This was basically talking about people who wait for the bus on the street road by the drill hall. Now, as you come off the roundabout by B&Q and go along the street road, actually there's no pavement for a while.
Correct.
And then you just by the drill hall, the pavement starts.
Yeah.
And that's where there's a bus stop. At the moment, it's very overgrown with hedges, and I'm really sad Nick Cotle's not here because he was really good at getting Somerset Council to cut back hedges. But that is something that we're going to have to work on, sadly, without him. But what they were asking for is that she was a lady with 5 children, standing on a very narrow pavement, with the cars and the trucks, huge trucks, as we know, roaring past at 30 or even 40 miles an hour. And she was asking, could we actually have 2 permanent, not the police every now and then, but a mobile speed indication device along that bit of street road, if we could have 2 permanent, so that as they come off the B&Q roundabout, they've got a thing that tells them, slow down.
Yeah.
Keep within, it's a 30-mile-an-hour at that point.
Yeah.
Doesn't get till 20 till Morrison's, which is way after.
Yeah.
And then a second one that is closer to the bus stop. Again, getting people to slow down to make it safer, because she says that going out from the Millstream estate with her children to catch a bus to go to Wells is really dangerous. And so that's why we agreed, after discussion, that we would ask for this council to fund 2 additional speed indicator devices to be positioned along that stretch of road. Now, according to Susanna, who emailed me after it, we got the grant for £1,000, if you remember, nearly 2 years ago now, for the one on Coursing Batch. And that one is up on Coursing Batch. I don't know what difference it makes, but at least we got it up. She says that from November, we'll again be allowed to apply for a grant. So I'm going to propose that we agree this, but we've got 3 months, and then it's November, and we actually do the application for the grant to get these indicator devices, so that we aren't using the money from either the Climate Emergency Group or the Resilience Group for this purpose.
Councillor Cousins.
I'd like to second that motion. Move to vote.
Thank you. Reply or...
Yeah, it's got further information. You get the grants every 2 years. So, yeah, it's coming up in November, then we have another one in another 2 years. So just so that people are aware that the grants are coming in.
Okay.
And I was actually in favour of just taking the grants when they come in.
Okay.
But I'm always in favour of road safety measures.
Okay, thank you. Okay, move to vote.
Favour?
Yeah.
All those in favour?
All those in favour? Yeah, thank you. Any against? Any abstentions?
Why do you look this way?
Sorry?
Is that unanimous?
I think it was unanimous. Yeah.
Your Worship.
No, I know the lady.
Yeah, I'm not going to vote for because.
So would you, Lindsay, would you like to speak to the next recommendation?
Yes,
and then I'll
absolutely.
speak again about other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Sorry, Your Honour, I'm unclear whether that was unanimous or whether
It wasn't unanimous because I was speaking. I'm not sure about this.
Okay, so that was an abstention.
Abstention. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Thank
One
you.
abstention.
Okay.
Otherwise, all in favour.
Yeah. So the bus. What have we written here?
Is that a tour bus?
Yes.
Okay.
I go in the Abbey nearly every day, and I see the bus, and how many people are on it, and it's not very many. I'm just wondering if their business model needs a little looking at, because we do shell out quite a lot of money to support them.
Yeah.
Can we look at what their passenger numbers are and whether it's the right thing to charge them when you're already charging them for the car park? Shouldn't there be a reduced rate if you're parking in the car park at the very least?
Councillor Osborne.
I'd like to add to that. Why don't we make the bus go further, so that instead of just going to the toll, it could go out to Bride's Mound, like it was the original idea was, that there would be a bus out there, and then it could stop off at Aldi and Tesco and bring people back into town. And then you'd actually get a fair few punters on it.
I think that's the sort of thing we need to review. Exactly.
Councillor Cousins.
So it's not a Section 19 or Section 21 route, so it would need to actually be formalised with the County Council as an extension to the existing route. But I think there's great merit in that suggestion.
Can anybody remember how we looked at things like that before?
It would basically, this would need to go to the Finance and General Purposes Committee and be discussed there, because it comes under the finance of the grant that we give to them.
Okay.
And that is when the tour bus is discussed. So whilst I seconded that we have it as a recommendation, and that we then propose that goes to the Finance and General Purposes Committee.
Councillor Cousins and Councillor Smythe.
I would suggest that we, at the meeting that we're going to discuss this and perhaps make a resolution around it, that we invite representatives from Mendip Community Transport, so that we can hear how, if we decide to change it, how it might work, because it is an actual bus route rather than a community bus route.
Yes. Thank you. Councillor Smythe? Oh, okay. Same question. Right. Thank you. Do we need to do anything other?
We need to vote on that.
I don't think so. No, I think we just propose that it goes to finance.
Just put it to Finance and General Purposes in November or December.
So can I carry on?
Please do. Yeah.
So the other thing that was discussed was to try to promote the 20-mile-per-hour route somehow to get more people aware of it, and do this maybe on the Town Council's social media. And Melissa was going to do this because she's part of the Speed Watch campaign. She was also going to ask Katie if she could collect the data from the speed indicator device on coursing batch, because it's an all singing and dancing speed indicator device, and that data will let us know how many people are speeding. And that will be really good information for us to have. So she was going to do that. Good news. It's always good to have good news, isn't it? We have so much bad news. Do you remember that we agreed as a council to write to Councillor Wilkins about the Toucan crossing by the Mill Stream across to Tesco's near the B&Q roundabout? Yes. A feasibility study is going to be funded by Active Travel UK.
Thank you.
And Somerset Council, bless them, have said that they will fundraise to pay for the actual crossing.
Wow.
Thank you.
So we look as though we're well en route to getting an actual Toucan crossing from the Mill Stream estate across to Premier Inn and Tesco's, so that people can go shopping in Tesco's without getting in their car, and the tourists from Premier Inn and Travel Lodge can get into the Abbey and the tour without having to get into their cars. So good news. Hello.
Yeah. Councillor
I have one more bit, but please.
Just a bit of clarification on that. Somerset Council isn't going to pay for it.
No, they're going to
fundraise.
Yes.
Thank you. Councillor Lation.
Don't mind, I will send you the report of what Councillor Wilkins actually said. Didn't include the word fundraise, but there is to be a feasibility study, and that will look at the likely cost, and that is to be funded by Active Travel, because of course that would join up with the paths that run through Tor Leisure into the town centre.
Thank you.
I will send the actual reply.
Thank you. Councillor Manning.
This was what Susanna was telling us, so I was going on that.
Councillor Manning? Just one quick one.
Yeah, just going back to raising awareness of the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. the way to raise awareness of it is to enforce it.
Yeah, prosecute a few people.
Get a few tickets out there,
Yeah.
that will make people slow down.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I've got
Thank
3
you.
points on course.
yeah.
And one other notice, there's a Climate Adaptation Day for your diary, September the 27th, 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock at the Red Brick Building. And various speakers have already been organised. And this, if you remember, was Somerset Wildlife Trust who did the Act to Adapt. And this is their follow-up to that. In order to raise more awareness of the adaptations we need to be making and things that we need to be doing.
What times?
1 till 4. September the 27th, 1 till 4, Red Brick Building. Thank you, Liz, for clarifying.
Thank you. Wow. Okay. Do you have anything to say? Is it unitary?
Just a couple of things. So actually, there is a consultation out on transport. I've sent the details through
To Katie.
So there's a place where you can go on. You need to respond by the 7th of September, but it's basically it's a consultation to promote how transport will work across the county in the next 20 years. So it's to meet the needs of the community. So it kind of might tie up with what you were discussing earlier. There's another consultation, again, the details have been sent and they'll be passed around to you on pupil referral units. So they're still going to be where they are and exist as they are. I think they're going to be managed slightly different. They're going to join up into, I think, 2 groups, but there's a consultation about that. There's a summer reading challenge in the libraries to maintain literacy levels over the summer, and the details of that also have been passed through to you. New waste calendars and food recycling stuff will be sent out imminently. We do really well with our food recycling, but it's just saying that people how they can get caddies if they're not currently using them, and just to help that, facilitate that move as well as it possibly can. The council has given £50,000 towards the dreadful coach crash. I don't know, I'm sure you will have read about the school in Minehead. So just to help the children and families in any way, the wider community moving forward as they kind of come to terms with what's happened or try to come to terms with it. There was sadly a review that shows that there'll be £8 million added most likely to the payroll. That's all included, it's all been sent through, so it will be sent around to everybody. What was the other? Oh, I don't know if you've received the stuff about the emergency planning measures. Some councils are saying that they missed it or the way it was delivered wasn't great. Did you receive that or not?
I haven't received it. That said, I don't know if Connor's received it.
So basically, county-wide, normal planning services are suspended for at least 12 weeks to try and help them catch up with the backlog.
We heard that you'd had like a load of people drafted in to do the backlog, is that correct?
I think what they're trying to do is kind of not endlessly deal with inquiries in the way that they normally would, just to kind of have a bit of peace and try and catch up. Yeah. Because I think it's got to the stage where it's just not functioning. They've got to actually to a crisis point. So they've had an outside consultant in who's effectively made this suggestion that they need to have a catch-up period, and then during that time, or at the end of that time, they're going to report back as to whether any of these measures will have to remain in place. But it's not 100% clear at the moment, just to be aware that things are going to be running differently for at least 3 months. And then there was just something about the transformation
plan. Somerset Council has approved its delayed Inspiring Innovation Transformation Plan, which outlines how we aim to save 190 million over the 5 years. And again, it's a strategy that a partner is going to be brought in to try and help with this transformation. So it's a bit like a consultant coming in to try and help make sure they streamline everything in the most financially effective manner. So they haven't got, you know, an IT system running from this council and this council all running not quite in the same fashion. So I think it's just to try and help them. But that's our news.
Thank you. Councillor Cousins?
But Councillor Henderson was first.
Councillor Henderson. Yeah.
Thanks, Susie. There was one little line that just sort of crept in there. It says about £8 million on the wage bill or something.
Yes. Let me find it. So, pay review costs. Somerset Council has confirmed that its pay and grading review could add up to £8 million to the annual payroll bill by the year 26-27, in addition to the £3 million already allocated to deliver the review itself using an outsourced partner.
Thank you. Who is?
Liz did, just now.
Okay. Did you
We
want?
also kind of, I don't know whether you wanted to hear anything, so I think most people were at that police meeting where we talked about trying to get the PSPO reinstated for the antisocial behaviour. And so I wrote to the executive about that. They've come back to me saying that they'll prioritise it after the festival. I spoke about it again recently and was told that they will be moving forward on it and hoping to get that into place. But it's obviously just a process, sadly, that takes time. But it's not that we're not trying to do it.
Okay.
Did you have a point, Liz? Yeah, please.
Your Worship, I can report I received emails this morning about the PSPO, which is on the way. We're really fortunate that the officer who's working on it was previously at Mendip, so knows Glastonbury and the parish boundary. I've also asked them to look at the PSPO that's in Bath City Centre and Midsummer Norton, and the town clerk was going to look at that. And on the additional costs for salaries, you'll recall that 5 councils have gone into one, each with different pay and grading, each with different terms and conditions. And one of the things that I realise now, which I hadn't realised before vesting, was if you all come into the council that has the lowest of the pay and grading and the least good of the terms and conditions, in order to move everyone across, you use TUPE. That works for a period of time and holds people's salaries and terms and conditions, but it's not something that can be expected to last forever. So we are doing pay and grading review. There's still something in excess of 4,000 people working in the council, and that piece of work will take 18 months. So there is £3 million allocated to that, some of which will go to an external consultant, but much of which will be internal costs, capitalised, and legal costs. And then there is a further amount that has been allocated in the medium-term financial plan for future years, when we are expecting that those posts that have come in from the districts and some of the previous county posts, particularly in areas like planning, where we've already heard what's happening in planning. So those will all be reviewed, job evaluation will change, job descriptions will change to some extent, but the grading will change too. So all of that has been allocated in the medium-term financial plan. It doesn't make life any easier, but if we don't keep our good staff, life becomes very much more difficult.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Cousins.
So, this is for our county councillors present. Street Road was mentioned, a 20-mile-an-hour zone for Street Road. I was beginning to wonder whether the enforcement was actually all of the greenery growing out of the drains, and whether the council had been watching Sleeping Beauty and could imagine that all these pieces of grass and tree would all come together and effectively slow down transport. But if that's not the case, and they are going to be 190 million better off at some point, could a few, maybe one or two of the 4,000 employees come and take all of the greenery out of the drains on Street Road? Because if there's a big storm, we all know what will happen.
That sounds like forward planning, Councillor Cousins. Thank you. Okay. Mayor, sorry. Oh, Councillor Naffer.
Thank you, Your Worship. One thing which hurts me greatly. We were told that Somerset County Council, or Somerset Council now, would save £45 million if we got rid of the districts. I believe that to be a fallacy. I think that the representation that we're getting at the moment is not as good as what it was when we had the five, certainly when we had Mendit. I think that that was a lot better. And it's probably against the grain, but it's something which I believe should be brought up to whomever decided that we'd save £45 million. Whether we've saved it or not, I don't know. But like I said, I don't believe that that was the right way to go. Thank you.
Unfortunately, that was a government decision, and they're now actually doing it. I mean, we're kind of ahead of the curve. They're doing it across the country. So we might not like it, we might not have voted for it, but it's just one of those things that we're stuck with. So I believe that the incumbent group are doing the absolute best they can under the circumstances to get things running smoothly. And, you know, unfortunately, please correct me if I'm wrong, Liz, the exorbitant and ever-rising costs of adult social care and children's care, these costs just spiral. They're out of all of our control and they have to be met. So I hear what you're saying, Terry, but, you know, everyone is actually doing their best. And I believe, I don't know, I certainly feel that I have tried to work collaboratively, absolutely with Nick, with Liz. We don't act like we're representing different parties. We're trying to do the best we can. So yeah, everyone would love that 45 million. No one knows where that made up figure ever came from, or whether it will actually appear in a place that any of us might like it to in the end. But I believe that Liz is absolutely doing the most sterling job that she can under the circumstances, and I don't know who would do it any better, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. Councillor Cousins.
But just a point of order to always for councillors to go through the chair, Your Worship.
Thank you. Okay, right, we're almost there, my friends. Anything from lead councillors and representatives to outside bodies? Serena?
Yes, so on the record, work has started now, finally, down on Bride Mound. Unfortunately, it started with the disabled access path.
Yeah.
And John Grimshaw sadly put too much gravel down on top, which caused a huge ruckus. Fortunately, Miranda dealt with that as speedily as possible, and for 2 weeks she's been posting out on social media that we immediately had a meeting with South West Heritage Trust, who commissioned the path, and Somerset Council, who funded the path, because it's Somerset Council land and it's South West Heritage Trust project. And we met with them and they agreed that a measure of the gravel on the top of the mound would be removed. However, it is a disabled access path, and it was always agreed to have a disabled access path there. When the Friends were first formed 30 years ago, in our original vision, there was access for disabled people to the top of the mound. So it will have to go to the top, And there will have to be a space on the top where a wheelchair can turn around. That is going to be essential. So if people still want to complain that there is gravel on the top of the mound for a wheelchair, I'm sorry, but as far as the Friends are concerned, the mound is open for all people, not just able-bodied people.
Yeah.
And from the beginning of us forming the Friends, we've always made sure that Bride's Mound was accessible for people. And finally, we're getting the disabled part. The other good news is that the work has started on building the roundhouse. The groundwork has been done. The disabled ramp and the gabions for the terrace that will go around the back of the roundhouse are all in. The what are called the ground screw foundations, because the roundhouse is going to be up 1 metre on stilts because of flood problems. Those are all in. And this week, the roundhouse company, they've already built the basics of the roundhouse in their workshops, and these are all now going to be like Lego fitted onto the gabions, and the whole structure will go up. And they reckon it's going to only take them about 6 weeks for the structure to actually go up. So
Excellent.
by our next meeting, we might well have some nice pretty pictures of the roundhouse, more or less complete, or at least certainly well on its way. So it's taken us 6 years to get to this point. I wish the public would realise that the Town Deal Board Fund was not actually Glastonbury Town Council. We had one representative at the beginning, that it started 6 years ago, and we are now coming to the very end of it.
Yes.
So we can't change things. They should have put in 6 years ago for their proposals and their projects, because we've been working for 6 years, attending meetings, doing government green books, doing business cases, all the bureaucracy that has gone behind 6 years of bureaucracy for 6 months of actual building work. And I'm saying it publicly now, so it can go out there on YouTube and everybody can actually hear what the process has been. And it's been very hard work, and I really hope that in the end we will have turned, we will have turned a tarmac industrial car park into a beautiful green space.
Yeah.
So that we will actually be enhancing Glastonbury by creating a beautiful green space, rather than being an industrial car park and a lorry park and industrial units. So hopefully people will see that actually it's to the benefit of the town rather than to the detriment.
Thank you. Councillor Cook.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. I'm really sorry to say this, Mary, but I'm really not up on Bride's Mound at all, I'm afraid, because I'm so disappointed and disillusioned with the red brick building and the C2 building, and still out of resolution. So it's obviously not going to go well for it as the project comes to an end soon. Next year, isn't it? April, I believe. So you know, it's really disappointing. So I thought, I mean, I'd heard a couple of rooms saying it's the same old thing, you know, it's attached to this and attached to that. So thank you for making that clearer to me, especially. And I hope everybody else that's here and anybody else who may be listening, because I think there's a lot of people who have no idea what the hell it is or even where it is. So, you know, well said you, and congratulations. But can you just give us a flavour of the cost of all of this and the award that's been given and who's in charge of it? And you're on scale, you're on a time scale with it?
Right, so the Friends put in for a grant of 550,000, of which we got a percentage because all the grants got reduced. We were joined by South West Heritage Trust, who wanted to do the disabled park and mark out where the chapel is, just little footprint on the ground. They had a grant of 100,000. And we were also joined by Somerset Wildlife Trust, who wanted to do a nature reserve, and they put in one, and they got a grant of 100,000. So the total for, let's call it the Friends project, although it's the Friends and Somerset Wildlife Trust and South West Heritage Trust, is about 700,000 in total. So in terms of the 23 million of the whole, it's a tiny little amount. Bailey's building, they got 25% of the funding. They got 6 million for the Bailey's building. So the majority of the funding went to them. The Abbey, they got their 2 million, we got however much it was for St Dunstan's. So the smallest project of all was the Bridesman project.
Thank you. Councillor Cousins.
Thank you, Your Worship. Even though I have from time to time been the council's outside representative on the Friends of Brides Mound, I wonder if this would be an appropriate time for this council to note its appreciation of all the work that the Friends of Brides Mound have done, not only in the last 6 years, but for decades, in helping to preserve that most sacred site.
Thank you. Can we write them a letter so as an action from Town Council to the Bridesman project? Thank you. Councillor Napper.
Your Worship. Just an update on the Carnival Committee. We had a very successful tractor run on Sunday.
Yes.
I don't think we had too many failures. I was one because my tractor probably won't go round. Anyway, it was very successful, and thank you to one and all who contributed.
Thank you. Councillor Manning?
We had a very successful summer party at Strawberries and Prosecco at Middlewick last month, which went down really well. For those who can't do the evenings but prefer the early mornings, our next event is a breakfast at the Crown on the 9th of September, 8 o'clock, so it's not too early, we don't do ridiculously early. 8 o'clock in the Crown.
That's the chamber. Yeah.
Your Worship, for the benefit of the clerk, could Councillor Manning say which group he's reporting on?
Oh, I do apologise, it was, I just said chamber, it is Street and Glastonbury Chamber.
Thank you.
Street and Glastonbury Chamber of Commerce. Yes, thank you. Okay. Couple of things here. We're sort of coming down into announcements and correspondence. John Revel, the principal of Strode, has stepped down, unfortunately. So that was a consequence of the amalgamation between Taunton and Bridgewater College that brought in Cannington as well. And so we always knew like Strode was small, Bridgewater's big, and so another principal is coming from Bridgewater. I haven't met the new person yet. And what else did we have? We had the Southwest in Bloom judging on the 17th of July. That went down really, really well. So that was Camilla Bassett-Smith, who totally loved us. So we'll have to see how we do in October. I went across to Wedmore Parish Council on the 10th of July, and that was an update on the Somerset Rivers Authority. And you probably all know anyway that the Environment Agency has been defunded even further. So I think they lost 42%, something like that. It's just ridiculous. Just a moment. Or was that an answer to this?
It's involved with that, yeah.
Okay. So there's this sort of consultation group working with the internal drainage boards, and they are now working on, instead of doing flood mitigation, they're looking at water management. And so when I was there, I said, so basically keep the water where it should be and keep it out of where it shouldn't be. And they went, oh yeah, okay. And so they'll do all of these sorts of presentations, all of the data analyses, all the computer models, and then they'll ask for funding. So that's where they're at right at the moment. Councillor Napper.
Thank you, Your Worship. Have they invented pushing water uphill yet?
No. Oh, there is one bit. There is one bit where that happens. Yeah.
And I know the guy who tells the story.
Yeah.
Having said that, what I just want to again draw attention to, the mill stream.
Yeah.
That is got totally. We've got a lot of fish in there. Yes. Yeah. We got more hens, but the actual river, if you want to call it, the stream, is clogged totally.
Yeah.
And it's not good. And very often we do get smells from the plant just up the road.
sewage. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I did flag that up with the various experts at that Wedmore meeting and showed them on the map and talked about the Cliss hole and whatever was happening there as well. Yeah, but their sort of main thing was like trying to do work that has the better impact. So maybe it's not downstream, maybe it's further upstream.
But yes. I noticed also that the brew is pretty overgrown as well.
Yeah.
Which that I've never seen it as overgrown as what it is now.
No. Okay. Councillor Cousins for drainage boards.
Thank you. I'd just like to say that on the day after our last town council meeting, there was an extraordinary premiere of a film by our very own filmmaker Kevin Redpath called A Glastonbury Tale, and some of the councillors were invited to that. It is an exceptional film, and I wonder whether this council would be interested in negotiating with Kevin to have its premiere in Glastonbury at this very hall.
Thank you.
Here.
Okay. On Wednesday just gone, I went across to Wells with the Mayor, Louis, and Brian Knickerbocker from Street Parish Council, and that was the Hiroshima 80th anniversary of the uranium bomb. And for 40 years, CND have been putting these little candlelit lanterns that just like float across the moat for a little while by Bishop's Palace, so that was wonderful. And then many of you attended my mayoral day on Saturday, just gone, thank you. So, yeah, big thanks to everybody who was involved. It was a wonderful event and quite sort of innovative in some ways, that we had, for example, a high sheriff and a deputy lieutenant who'd never actually been to Chalice Well. And they went, wow. So you never know. So again, like the reason I wanted Saturday was because it was Nagasaki Day, so for exactly the same reason. And then on Sunday, just gone, I went across to the Sea Cadets to their open day. So that was really nice, down at the bottom end of Benedict Street. But in the field by Tor Leisure was a rounders tournament with 3 or 4 different rounders pitches and probably, I don't know, 150 people or something. It was amazing. So again, that was the first of the town deal projects to finish, and you just go like, perfect. So no, really, really pleased with that. I don't think we've got anything hugely other. If we mentioned Dunstan's. I've just had a letter this evening from a lady called Charlotte Tolman, who, and that's part of the National Health Foundation. It follows on from what you asked me this morning at Market, Terry, about West Mendip Hospital. So this letter has come from their chief exec. I've asked Katie to send it round all councillors. Thank you. And it explains about these pathway beds. So there's pathway 1, 2 and 3. Pathway 1 would actually be at home, getting treatment in your house. And so, although we're concerned about sort of job loss down there, there must be new jobs and new equipment streams to enable this to happen. So take a read of it. It's about having a pilot project, and we're not included in that. And then they'll learn lessons from it and then decide what to deliver. But it's their 10-year plan. Thank you.
I noticed that all 3 hospitals, there is 4, I don't know, but I think that we in Glastonbury are taking the biggest hit, because we are losing 50% of our beds. Other places are not losing that amount of beds at all. So when that hospital was built, it was to take over Wells and it was to take over Butley.
Yes.
And so we are reducing the beds. We've got more people here wanting that kind of rehabilitation, if you like. But like I say, Glastonbury Hospital is taking the biggest hit, which I think is very, very, very unfair.
Thank you. I know the MP is on the case, Sarah Dyke. Lindsay?
I think she's supporting it actually, because she says
Sorry?
it's a reduced demand. I read somewhere that Sarah Dyke is supporting the reduction in beds.
Well,
because there's a reduced demand. I mean,
well, let me tell you something. My brother-in-law was admitted to Yeovil Hospital in March, and he had whatever he had to do, and then he was then put on one of these outside beds, and he had to go to Wincanton, and we had to go to Wincanton every other day to see him. Now that to me is a little bit of a fallacy what you're saying. Yeah, I don't. That's just to illustrate where I'm coming from. Like I say, we had to go to Wincanton. Now, if there are people that are out there, my brother-in-law is over 80, but if there are people out there that are very old and that they can't drive, so they're not going to see their loved ones at all until they're released. So, you know, I just think that it's something which this 50% is wrong for me.
Okay. Councillor Henderson?
Thanks, Chair. Perhaps it would be a good idea to get a clarification of the MP's view on this.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, the next quarterly newsletter. So, oh, sorry.
yeah, I just want to get in something about our water group. Really, which is a sort of working group from the climate emergency group. Many of us have signed up for a water blitz citizen science weekend, which is arranged by Earthwatch. If anybody wants to join it, and this is for local water testing, like the Millstream, it's earthwatch.org.uk, and it's 19th to the 22nd of September.
Okay.
And I've got a lot more to say about what we're doing in the water group, but I'll bring that to the next meeting.
Thank you.
Next session.
Yeah. So thank you to people who contributed to the quarterly newsletter. It was a jolly fine read, I must say. So that was the Lammas? Yeah, Lammas one. So the next one will be Sawain. I think they did. And is it on the website?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Circulate it individually, please, Katie.
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, yeah.
It's just the naming of these newsletters, calling them Sawain and things.
We explained in the decision of the council meeting what that actually meant.
I understand what they mean, but I actually think it's very exclusive. I think most people in town do not know what these things mean, nor do most people outside of this town. And I think it's actually suggesting that we are only operating for a particular group of people.
Okay. Thank you. And anyway, if you have items for the next one in 3 months' time, please forward to the clerk or whoever else is doing it. I think Connor did a really good edition on Canva. It looked very good. Anything from... Oh, sorry, yeah.
Just to clarify, Councillor Osborne's comment, they are actually quarterly newsletters, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yes, thank you. But just very particular quarters, yes. Thank you.
There is a thing of like cultural appropriation of using a Celtic term in a country which is the colonial power that did what it did to the Irish.
Yeah.
And I find it actually a bit bizarre.
Okay, thank you. Any items for news release? Katie? Oh, sorry.
Yes, could we put the Climate Adaptation Day, please?
Yeah.
September the 27th, 1 till 4 at the Red
Thank
Brick
you.
Building.
Any actions arising from the meeting? Oh, sorry, Councillor Cousins.
I mentioned just a minute ago A Glastonbury Tale by
Kevin Redpath. I've asked Katie if she can write to him.
That's great, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Are you writing, are you, John? Are you writing to Kevin? Marcus?
Yeah. Councillor Henderson.
Thanks, Chair. Just slightly off track here, but we get to public participation, and quite rightly we don't engage because we haven't got time to take on everything on board. But there's a lot of statements made which are overtly wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because we don't reply to them, they are taken as gospel. Now, there was quite a lot of misinformation tonight, which we didn't come back on.
Yeah.
And as Serena pointed out, a lot of stuff about St Bride's Mound was wrong. There was a protest outside the shop 2 weeks ago from the sacred Glastonbury people, all completely wrong about St Bride's Mound. And I just wonder, is there a procedure or a mechanism where we can perhaps, without debating the facts on the night or at the next meeting, we don't want to sort of regurgitate it next, but we need to sort of take on board what's being said and then maybe put our version of, at tonight's meeting this was said, but you know, this is actually what's going on, something like that. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah. We have discussed at some point media officer, haven't we?
We have.
Was that the ACE committee?
Yeah.
Councillor Osborne.
Firstly, I think it would be useful if we were really strict about the 3 minutes and cut the microphones off. But maybe when people sign up to, doing their 3 minutes, maybe there should be some sort of information sheet given to them that explains that we don't respond, because sometimes people don't understand why we just sit there. That explains what the level of this council is. Like, we've got nothing to do with the town deal, and you get somebody come along and talk about something that went on 6 years ago, that if they'd wanted to have got involved in, they should have done then, and it's absolutely nothing to do with this council, and it just basically doesn't really add anything.
Councillor Manning and then LB.
I just wonder whether the next edition of the newsletter would be the place for the answering the, perhaps we should call them the FAQs.
Yeah.
Because that would be the place. But I do also agree with Councillor Osborne that it needs to be accessible to all. And I feel that if it's got, and although I understand what the various seasonal names are, I do find that might be off-putting for somebody who want everybody to read it.
Yeah. LB?
Thank you, Councillor Henderson, for bringing up the question of misinformation. One thing we could consider is not broadcasting on YouTube the public participation.
And that's exactly what we did today.
Okay, because after all, the YouTube is meant to broadcast the proceedings of the council.
Exactly.
It is not the 3-minute speeches of random members of the public.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's good.
Councillor Napper.
Can I help you?
Yeah, Napper. I said Napper.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. I have to disagree with Lilith that I believe that anything to do with Glastonbury Town Council should be debated here, whether it be anything to do with the council or not. And I think that we are concerned with the whole of the parish. Thank you.
Councillor Cousins and then Councillor Cook.
So in law, the reason why the public participation happens before the formal opening of the agenda is because anything said in public participation that is libelous or slanderous or misleading or indeed not true in any way, that isn't part of the recorded meeting.
Correct.
So whilst I accept that there may be merit in not broadcasting the public participation, I'm very sad that that decision was taken without consulting the whole council.
It happened a day ago.
Because, well, I understand it must have happened at some point. But this is quite a change to the way that this council has been presenting itself for a number of years, and it might have been polite in the in the least way for us all as councillors to have had our say on that change. My concern is that it will just be another way of us being labelled people who are against free speech, and I certainly wouldn't want to be one of those.
Thank you. I will just...
Mr. Trump.
As you know, we publish the the agenda for committees and for council, was it 4 working days beforehand? Okay, so we don't have any awareness really, other than what people put on that paper about what they want to talk about with public participation. So on the summons page, it does actually say about public participation, as issues raised may not relate to items on the agenda, no resolution for action can be taken, and there will be no discussion. Okay, it's black and white. Okay, thank you. Councillor Snide?
Yeah, sorry, I just thought to clarify what's happening in future with regard to broadcasting or otherwise of public participation. I think we'd all like to clarify that.
Yeah. So the conversation was with the town clerk, and he's not here today. So that just happened yesterday. Councillor Cousins.
I'd like to reply, Your Worship, it's not the town clerk's position to make decisions like that. It is the town council's position to make decisions like that. Whilst some extraordinary circumstances, the mayor has, of course, overriding powers of the meeting, I do feel that that is quite a significant change, the way that we've been broadcasting since we started. And I do feel it might be very useful for this council to discuss that at a future meeting.
Okay, we can put it on the agenda. Can you put that on the agenda for September, please? Okay. Any further actions for this meeting, Katie?
I've only got a final update for the Wellbeing and Wonder event on September the 14th.
The Wellbeing and, so that's the Resilience and Wonder Day.
Yeah.
Sunday the 14th, 11 till 5 in the town hall.
That's right.
Thank you. Councillor McDougall.
There's advance notice of Fair Trade Fortnight, which begins 22nd of September, Monday 22nd of September.
Okay.
I don't know what's being arranged, but that's when it is.
Fair Trade.
Previously, Joe Joseph did something, so I'll be in touch with him.
Thank you. Okay, the date of the next meeting is the 9th of September, and I declare this meeting closed, and thank you very much indeed, Councillor.
Thank you, Chair.
Actually, there's
Katie?